You are an enigma to me. Do you know that?
Oh, oh, good, man. Good.
I'm fascinated about this bloody undercover billionaire, and I've got some questions for you. It's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah. No. I mean, the show, it's going to come out January 6th. So that's less than a month away.
All right. So you want to promote it and just do your bit and make sure people are aware of it, right?
Yeah. And the public, I mean, it's going to play in the UK.
Isn't that awesome? Don't worry. I live in America and the UK. I'll be watching it. I
Okay.
saw the trailer.
And I guarantee you this, it's going to be a hit show, without a doubt, because I know what happened there, and people are going to be like, they're going to go bonkers on this deal.
You're a fun character. I think I'm interested to see how you contrast with those other two people. Was it just three that were going through the undercover billionaire?
Yeah. But I don't meet them. They're in different cities doing their own deal.
So I've got the show format. You got $100. You got 90 days. You got to make $1 million, right? They take everything away from you. You got a pickup truck. You probably got some lousy accommodation. You shave your head.
No accommodations.
No accommodation.
No food and no water. No food, no water, no contacts. Can't use my phone. I cannot use my computer.
This is historical. So what do you? All right. You get into that $100.
Dude, and I need to build $1 million business in 90 days.
Right,
I cannot use any of my social media audience. By the way, on top of all that, I have to not be Grant Cardone.
What was your name?
My name was Lewis Curtis.
Okay. Cool. All right.
So the other people, say again.
Did you get recognized?
No, well, I was in a meeting once. It was toward the end of it. I think I was at like a week. Let me see. There was 8. What is it? 3 times 4. I was in like the 8th or 9th week, and I was doing a presentation. I'm trying to sell a guy a $120,000 deal, and he's like, "Man, can I?" And I'm bald headed, dude. Look, I'll show you what I look like. This is what I look like.
Yeah, that's good.
Because when Discovery brought me in, they're like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah," but the problem is I'm going to be recognized. And they're like, "Well, come on, man, you're not that famous." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm not Kevin Hart, dude, but I'm telling you, I'm going to be recognized." And because the people that know me love me, like I'm with them every day. I said, it's not just my face, it's my voice. So I was in this meeting, and the guy looked at me and said, "Anybody ever tell you, man, you sound just like Grant Cardone?"
I knew you were going to say that. Dude, I already knew it before you said it. That was the perfect way. Well, it's not just the voice, but you're in the ether. When I think of social, I mean, you do a lot of other things, but just the social media marketing, you permeate through those channels, right? So everything, it's the persona, it's the voice, it's the messaging, it's your ads, it's everything. So it doesn't surprise me. But you shaving your head, you look like you come out of prison, then they go and tell you you're the same guy. Or you got a twin brother, which I think you do have, right?
I do have a twin brother, but so there was a couple of times where people were like, "Hey, is that Grant Cardone?" And I would just keep moving, right? So because I'm so, I use social media so much, it made the show even more complicated.
Right. But in the post and distribution and marketing, it's going to help. It's going to help significantly, right? You dumb it down.
If TV, unfortunately, I hope Discovery sees this. TV, they're complete imbeciles when it comes to social media.
Oh, of course. Well, it's a draconian industry that's ripe for disruption, right? Same with film, right?
Totally.
Let me start with a quick question before. Why the hell did you do it? Why did you?
So that's the best question, right? Why would I do this thing? I saw the show. I watched Glenn Stearns, who shot the first season, and when I watched it, I watched the first 3 minutes. I'm just going to be completely frank with you about why I did it.
Yeah, sure.
I watched the first 3 minutes. I'm like, dude, if I get the first 3 minutes, it's going to make me $1 million. Probably going to make me 10 million, maybe 100 million.
Yeah, sure.
Then it was like, because the first 3 minutes of the show, like, really sell this character, right? And going from nothing to something. And that means they have to show the something. TV really doesn't want to promote an individual unless the individual is coming for nothing. And then they're like, let me show you where you fell from. But when I locked it in my head, I called my wife. I said, you got to come in here right now and see the first 3 minutes of this show. Because if they do the same thing for me, it's going to be a freaking game changer for the company.
Yeah, fair enough.
Then I started watching it though. And then I'm like, dude, this is real. This is like no place to sleep, no food to eat, $100 is no money. I mean, I don't remember the last time I didn't spend $100 a day, much less $100. I mean, I have no money. Can't use my name. I started working with the complexities of this thing. If it was real, is what I was saying to myself, if the show's actually real. And so I called these guys and just said, hey man, how real is this? How much are you producing and how much am I doing? They're like, dude, we're not producing anything.
So,
and so, the thing that got me, the real reason why I did it at the end of the day was I needed to prove to myself that I could pull this off.
right.
Number one question I get right now is, hey, if you lost everything, what would you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said, you know what, rather than telling people, I'm going to go show them. And you're going to see it January 6th, Discovery Channel. You're going to see I make a move in the first 3 days that every person in America should learn how to make. There's something I do in the first hour that is like, it is freaking a game changer for every household in America. And then in the third day, I do something that if people could learn how to do that and operate like that, they'd never be without anything.
So let me ask you a question, and obviously you don't want to give away the show format or even the substance of the format. And I never teach or train people to do this in branding, particularly with film messaging. But you want to give, I'm not asking you to break news, but you want to give an insight to what either are. You want to share an idea?
Yeah, sure. So the first thing I did was they asked me, they said, hey, what's the first thing you do when you get to the city? I don't even know the city I'm going to, by the way.
Right.
I'm in Las Vegas. I just finished interviewing Kevin Hart in front of 12,000 people. I'm in my Gucci shoes and my, all my 10X gear. And, I'm coming out of Kevin Hart land. And it's my show, man. 12,000 people, 3 days. This
is your growth con thing, right? Your third or fourth.
Yeah, this is my growth conference, my annual. It's a $7-8 million event. That's what we spend to do the event. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, hey, when you get to, I'm getting ready to get on my plane and fly to this place. I don't know where this place is, by the way. They won't tell me. Okay. So they're like, what's the first thing you're going to do there? I said, well, first thing I'm going to do is shave my head. And they're like, why? I said, because game's over. If I get found out the first day, then see, because I bet $1 million that if I don't hit the target, I got to put $1 million up for my money.
That's not how you got the show, though, right? You just made that bet.
Yeah, I said it's $1 million. They said, hey, what would you be willing to bet $1 million? I'm like, yeah, I'll bet $1 million on myself.
Oh, that's a trade I'd take. I'd make that trade.
Yeah.
Just in the branding, even if you f it up.
100%, right? 100%.
The story in the branding's worth it. I got it. Okay.
And it keeps the viewer hooked in, right? So I said, the third thing I'm going to do, or the second thing I'm going to do when I get to the town, once I find out where it is, I need a bank. I need to go to a bank. And they're like, why do you need to go to a bank? And I said, I need to drop this money off. And they're like, you only got $100. You're going to need the $100. And I said, the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of what I don't need.
All right. Well, that leads me to two pertinent questions, but I think it's going to drill down too hard on what you're doing. All right. I think that you know what that is? That's what we call provocation and enough mystique to make people want to know. Let me ask you another question, right? Undercover Billionaire. Aren't you a billionaire yet? Haven't you figured out how to call yourself a billionaire with all that fucking property you got? All that inventory?
I'll tell you, one of the problems I had with doing the show was I'm not a billionaire.
No, I get it. But dude, you on paper, okay, you might have to fast forward 30 years, right? You may have to do a few more deal
they were like, look, that's not a big deal, And I'm like, yeah, it kind of is a big deal. They're like, Grant, we're not changing the name of the show. Okay, we have a hit show already. So,
yeah, of course, yeah.
TV, they're like, we're not changing the show.
No.
You have $2.2 billion worth of real estate. You got a company worth $400 or $500 million on top of that. Your brand's worth. They're like, do you want to do the show or not? Because we're not changing the name. I'm like, but I'm not a billionaire. We need to explain to people, I know I'm not a billionaire. I'm not trying to get people to think I'm a billionaire. And So that is one problem I did have with the show. So
No, fair enough. So, okay, you've outlined to me a fair bit in the introduction.
my kids will probably be billionaires. I don't know that I'm going to make it.
Dude, you work out all the time. You're what, 61 now? Someone that's 62, man?
Yeah, 62.
Come on, you still got a long time, and you're healthy.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
And also, it compounds, right?
If I live long enough, I'll make it. If I live long enough,
you're compounding just fine, especially with that real estate portfolio. I know a thing or two about a compounding value, and that's on a good. The problem you've got is deal closure, but that's a whole different conversation, right?
Yeah,
And what happens to the market? Just fast forward. You think of that 3 months.
yeah.
You nailed one thing, right? So the objective of the show's clear. What was the biggest thing you got from it, and what was the worst thing that happened? Because for me, I look for a ceiling and floor in an experience.
Yeah. So, the gratitude, man, the gratitude I have for so many things that I took for granted is like just mind boggling. Like I cannot explain. It brings tears to my eyes when I talk about it. Not having my mattress, not having my friends, not having my family, not having my water bottle, not having my phone, not having the employees, the bad employees that I have. I wanted the bad employees back. like
Sure.
The simplest of tasks, like how to open up a document. I didn't even know how to open a document up because I have so many people around me doing stuff for me.
Yeah.
And not my name. My name is so valuable. I did not know how valuable my name was, and then having to lie. The fact that that my life is about being transparent. And before you started doing the interview today, you're an enigma. My transparency is my character. Like it is who I actually am, and it's kind of what's created this Grant Cardone persona.
Yeah.
Because I just say whatever I believe, I say it. Well, I couldn't do that here. Everywhere I went, I had to start with a lie. And who I was, where I was from, why my family's not with me, what am I doing in this new town? When I start pitching somebody about something I know, I can't actually tell them how much I know about it, because then they're like, whoa, wait a minute. You're this other guy. How do you know all this stuff, right? Can't find me anywhere. This new name, you can't find me anywhere on social media. So I'm like this freaking vacuum.
Yeah.
This black hole. So that was the thing that I learned. I think that was the most.
Was that the most? So that to me is it's multiple points. I mean, that's actually really good texture. But is there one thing that just, or is it that? Is it the fact that it was an awakening about your life and the fact that you have it all, you've lost it all, and you need?
Yeah.
Is it because I think I heard it, and it's you're grateful.
Just like so grateful. But the worst part of it that came out of it,
yeah,
the exhaustion from this project was like, I would never do this again. I'll tell you right now. Like if they offered me 10 million to do it, I'd be like, I'll pass. I would tell nobody should do this yet. This is a fucking suicide mission. And it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Am I glad I did it now? Yeah, I'm glad I did it, but I wouldn't do it again.
Would you consider it when you think you're stressed, whatever it is, right? You want to get fit, you're going to spend the next 5-10 years doing something, or you want to go and make $100 million. I think about when I make an invention, I make a punt on the market, and I think whether I can protect my IP and whether there's a buyer out there that's going to buy it. I've done it several times. I know how hard that is, and it's multiple years. I call them Mount Everest challenges. Is this one of your Mount Everest challenges? Like, is it that bad?
It's terrible. It was terrible. Like I would not do it again. It's not something like, I don't mind doing hard deals. I wouldn't do this deal again. Maybe like there's 2 other women that are going to do this season. They're going to lay it out. They're in other cities doing the deal. When I talk to them, they don't seem to have had the same kind of phenomenon that happens to me. And even some of the production crew said, bro, like, this is a TV show. Okay. Like in 4 or 5 days into the deal, they're like, hey, Grant, you got to slow down. And we are shooting a TV show here. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And my wife would tell me, Grant, it's a TV show. They're shooting a TV show, dude. It's not. And something happened to me when this thing started, where I'm like, no, I have to make this happen.
It was very real to you, right? It was very
it became
real.
very real to me. I don't know what it's called in the TV business. Something about guys losing their character, or they get. What's it called?
So you're essentially it's basically an alternative character that's based on method acting. Basically, the method became true, and the reason
exactly.
It was real for you because you probably had more to lose than anyone, because you actually have gone a long way. I'm not saying the other people are not successful, but in your reality, first of all, you want to protect your brand. You're a competitor, right? You're pushing really, really hard, right? I get that, and that comes across in your energy and everything. But now you got nothing. You got nothing, and you're thinking to yourself, "Why am I doing this?" Now, do you quit, or does it become the biggest and most realist study of your life? And it's
exactly.
Like it overtook you, right? It's like, I got to do it. I'm gonna come back to what you achieved at the end of it, because, and you may not want to give that away, but I don't want to create spoiler alerts. Teasers are great because I don't want to spoil it for myself when I watch it. Right?
Yeah.
But look, let me ask you a question. What did they give you? So I've done some crazy things in my life, and I've set some hard task challenges with investors and shareholders all over the world. Time trials and track management and stuff like that, they're interesting. But what do they actually give you? I get the top part of it, but you have to survive, right? So you can't, within 3 weeks, make that 50 grand and then all of a sudden backtrack and ask someone to convince to take you in. So what kind of tools do they give you? Obviously, there's a camera following you and all of the rest of it. But are there any other things, without giving it away?
Yeah, sure. I'll tell you exactly what they gave me. They gave me nothing. So
it sounds crazy.
I'm just telling you, dude. I'm telling you, in 5 or 6 days, I found some donuts in the crew truck, and I thought it was going to be a feast. I'm like, shit, dude. Like now I had to deal with, am I going to steal the donuts? Because, bro, I ain't had donuts. Like, I hadn't had any food. I'm living off of rice.
Oh. Did you lose weight during that 3 months? You must have, dude.
Well, my body doesn't really work like that, but I probably lost a little bit, but my body doesn't. Like, I hold on to stuff, but when I don't eat, I tend to hold weight.
Okay.
And I need to eat actually to lose weight. But, you know, they didn't give me anything, bro. And the cameras were not my friend. The cameras actually hurt me. In some TV shows, I think cameras help with the audience. With me, they're like, okay, who is it? Like, I had to hide.
You made an interesting point. So look, I've seen all of these different types of formats, and some of them work real well. And you're absolutely right. You're bang on the money. Sometimes the covered TV, the preparation that goes behind it, the formula, whether you're doing up a house or winning a reality contest, the tools are understood. But if they're really stripped back, then the cameras become an inhibitor, because people view you as credible, right? You want to go and do a deal. They want to take you, as it is, you're lying, right? You're saying, I got to build something out of nothing. You got to build this foundation. How is that real if you've got cameras around you?
Exactly. Like, I was looking at a piece of commercial real estate. It probably won't make the show because, I mean, I know real estate. And one of the things I was looking for while I was there was a deal. And they didn't like that idea. I'm like, hey, this ain't your show. And they're like, well, we don't want this to be a real estate show. Hey, get out of the way. This is a reality TV show. You said the goal was I had to come here with $100 and I need to build $1 million business. You didn't tell me short of breaking the law. I understand I can't break the law. You didn't say I couldn't do this deal or that deal. Fuck you guys. Leave me alone. Let me do my deal. That's all I'm going to give you, by the way. I'm going to give you what I give you, but I'm going to hit my target.
I love it. I love it.
And so, but you know, when you bring cameras to a commercial real estate site, there's not like, this isn't residential real estate people that get into residential real estate because they want their photo on a business card. These are people that are doing $10 million deals at a low end. And I'm trying to buy one. They're like, what are the cameras for? I don't get it. So it actually blew a deal. It probably won't make the show. That's why I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I was going to say, did you ever slip in try to get round the rules a little bit and say, look, I know what I'm doing here. Like, I've been doing all these real estate deals. I've got this. Well, they say, well, where the hell is it? Because I don't know this Curtis character.
I can't tell them. I can't tell them that. I never said, yeah, I've done I own 9,000 apartments. I've done $2 billion. I own $2 billion worth of real estate. I can't tell them that.
Yes, I tell you, that's brilliant. How did Elena and the kids feel about this journey?
Yeah, well, my wife she's happy to see me suffer. Just kidding. But the kids did not like it at all. Okay, I thought that I would have the kids out there in the first week. I said, I'm gonna bring them out. I'm gonna have them out in a week. I even told Discovery, I'm like, look, I want my family to follow me on this journey. We're gonna do it together. They're like, okay. Well, they didn't tell me what they were thinking, which was, bro, it's too dangerous. There is danger in having no money.
Yeah,
you understand?
For sure. Oh, I understand. Yep.
No money, no credit, no place to sleep, no water, no food. You're not bringing your kids. Yeah. So one unfair advantage that I have, and I'll tell everybody this right now, because most of America's having to do this every day with their family. That's the other thing that I walked away from, really realizing, God damn, man, America.
It's brutal for some.
There's 30% of America waking up with kids that don't have $100.
Yeah.
And so I had to come off of that ledge thinking I was going to bring my kids and my wife out. I wasn't able to bring them out for a long time. And I mean a long, long time.
So you basically just didn't see them for a quarter of the year.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, dude. Yeah, I live between London and New York, so I know a thing about distance. It's tough, but then especially when you're experiencing and you got nothing, that's brutal.
Yeah, and I'm 62 years old, dude. These kids are 10 and 8. Like, I know I don't have, how many summers do I have? So, again, something I miscalculated completely. That wasn't the only thing I miscalculated in this endeavor.
So tell me, without giving it away, like, what's the worst thing that, other than perhaps losing the real estate deal that you were working on, they might cut it out of the show? It sounds like they are going to cut it out of the show. But what was the worst thing?
Yeah. Well, God, man, there's so many worse things. I mean, where to sleep. Like, and it was 15 degrees. And I'm waking up in the morning with my whole body's in complete tension, and I've been grinding my teeth all night. Not some of the night. I grinded so long because I was so cold that my entire neck was like in a spasm. And then I got to go out and figure out how to get some money.
You get to work out. Did you say to yourself mentally, I got to be there? So
one of the first things I did, by the way, because I know gyms have good people in them. So I would have spent money on a gym before I spent money on food.
I hear you.
If you go to a good gym, you'll meet good people. The problem I had, again, was if you go to gyms, Grant, you're going to get recognized.
Mm-hmm. But also you can't afford. Most gyms are not letting you in for free, right? So in the beginning, what you're going to do to pay for it? You can
probably get a couple of days from a gym.
You get a couple of friends, move around the gyms in the city, get 2 days here and there, build yourself up. Then you're going to get known. I'm imagining with your shaved head, you're like doing press ups by the side of your little camp bed, and you're like, I just got to get my mind fit, because that's a lot of emotional pressure.
Yeah. It was really just about, I wanted to meet people. I knew my greatest asset was the ability to put people together. And so remember, I'm in a city I've never been to before, so I don't know anyone.
Yeah. I mean, did they give you any tools like that? I mean, what about pads, notepads? A computer.
I had 2 pairs of blue jeans. I had 3 or 4 T-shirts that I brought with me. I stole a blanket off the plane before I got off. I went back on the plane and grabbed a blanket when I realized where I was. I stuffed it in my bag.
You stole that from yourself, right?
Huh?
You stole the blanket from yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I stole the blanket from my own plane, stuffed it in my duffel bag, because you can bring one duffel bag. I brought 1 empty container with me that I can put water in, because I watched Glenn the year before have to buy water. I'm like, I ain't buying water, dude. You got $100, you can't afford water.
Yeah.
So, you know, you start figuring out how to be crafty, man. That was the one benefit of it is how crafty human beings actually are when they're forced to be.
Yeah.
We're really not very crafty when we don't have to be, but we become extremely intelligent.
Well, you know the whole management philosophy around living on limited things, right? Can you live with just 100 things in your life, right? It sounds to me you were living with 25 things in your life, right? And they were very small, right? And so it gets you to rethink reality. The problem is those things don't necessarily scale; they just build character, right? So you reinforced your character that you can do it. So you didn't have any tools. You went through this process. Did you have a fractious relationship with the TV crew?
What kind of relationship?
Did you have a difficult relationship with the campus? You said they weren't your friend.
They hate my guts. I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, like if we ever do any of those sit downs where they ask they love Glenn. Glenn's a nice guy. If you watch the show, Glenn Stearns is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. They knew within 3 hours that I was a total prick.
I love it.
I knew it. They knew it. Everybody knew it. I'm like, guys, look, you're not going to like me. I know this is going to be completely different than the Glenn show. I drive different than he does, by the way. So I drive different than everybody does.
But here's the thing, right? I'm old enough. I'm turning 40 in a couple of months. In reality, and don't let these devilish good looks fool you, right? I'm aging fast, right? And what I can tell you is I trained on a what you call a stick shift, right? Or manual for us, right? Is the driving, when I think of that as a metaphor, I think of two things. I think one is, are you really a prick, or is it more that you're willing to break rules in order you're willing to have, not chaos, but you're willing to unbreak it to figure out how to survive, right? Yeah. So looking at broken processes is the way I innovate. There's nothing wrong with that. Breaking stuff is good as long as you can build it back to something better. Or is it you just, because I don't believe you're just an asshole to these guys.
No. Well, I have my own ideas, right? I'm a bit of a producer myself anyway. So, they'd be like, okay, you need to tell us what just happened. I'm like, fuck it, dude. I just showed them what happened. I don't need to tell you what happened. Audiences are not that stupid. I've already told you twice what I did. I told them before, and they're like, we got to cut this. So I became a bit of an idiot because I don't understand why we're cutting shit and editing shit and adding stuff. And I'm like, over and over, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I need to go make some money. No, Grant, we have to go back now and tell the audience what you did. I said, bro, that ain't the show. The show is for me to get to $1 million valuation. Yeah. And I'm running out of time. So have somebody else tell them what I just did. I got to get me some money. And then they're like, we need to recharge the batteries on the fucking cameras. And I'm like,
exactly. Well,
I can't lose my momentum right now. I need momentum.
This is, so I lecture about this productivity. This is a whole mechanical thing that you can do. In TV, they lose it. But you hit on a very good point, right? You're moving the same piece twice because you're on the byproduct becomes the show.
Yeah.
But the goal is to actually achieve the money.
Yeah.
So it was going to be one of my follow-on questions is, how much time did you lose producing a show in the format and playing servant to the format versus you actually going out there and being productive?
Well, they got to shoot the show. Otherwise, nobody can watch, right? So see, that's the problem with dealing with a guy like me. That, look, some people just want to be on TV to be on TV. And look, I want to be on TV. I know it'll help my brand. But the difference for me is maybe a little different than some other people that'll do it. I'm out there telling people they can get rich. I'm out there teaching people. We make millions. I make millions of dollars a year and half for years educating people. I'm not new to the coaching space. This is how I've made my career. This is who I am. And so if this thing fails for me, dude, it's going to be, I'm going to have egg all over my face. Oh, Mr. 10X comes up short. Not good. So these other people that are doing the show, they want to be on TV and they want to look good on TV. I don't need to look good. I need to hit the target. And so for me, when they're like, hey, we need to reshoot or we need to repackage or we need batteries, I'm like, fuck you guys. Hey, get another camera over here. I would get so angry because my rep, to me, I was at risk. It was possible that I wouldn't I wasn't making TV anymore. They were. I was. That's the thing.
Do you feel like it was? Do you feel like that? Look, failing fast and all that bullshit. At the end of the day, people that want to succeed. It's in our blood, right? So did you feel like that if you didn't succeed, it was going to affect the perception of just the fact that you are succeeded in other areas, pretty better than almost anyone else?
Yeah, and I also know I got my wife and my kids that are like, hey, you said you were going to do this. You got to do this. I got my employees. I got 500 employees that know I'm doing this project. So there's a lot on the line other than a new audience for me.
Yeah, exactly. So tell me, you make me think about reminiscing on TV and the flaws. I mean, it's another area ripe for disruption, but it's changing. Believe me, the whole format is changing. But tell me, did you, I don't know if you want to give it away or you can, but did you get close to your goal?
I can say that I did not hit it.
I'm pretty much damn well you'd be lying to me if you said hit that goal with nothing. You've got nothing around it. But did you get close?
I can't say, I don't want to say that. I just want to say that, some people are going to be disappointed and other people are going to be like, dude, look what that guy did. Like at some point, people are going to be like, hey, the money doesn't matter now.
Yeah. Okay. It's going to be the journey.
Because I mean, if you're really watching this thing, like to learn something, like there's some things that happen in this show. I wish I would have known how to do that when I was 25.
Yeah.
And I did not know how to do them. If I'd have done it when I was 25, I wouldn't have pulled some of this off. I had to have some of this lifetime experience. Probably the only unfair advantage that I had in this was my 37 years of experience of being very crafty.
Yeah. It's an unbelievable story. So you ain't going to do that again. Would you do more TV?
We're probably very certain that I'll do more TV.
All right. It's interesting.
Probably a 101% chance that the networks are going to be very interested after this.
Well, and keep in mind, right, as you probably know this, but I could talk to you forever on this story, but there is an immortality about traditional media, right? Mm-hmm. So film stars, right? Musicians, TV stars, but the way the networks produce is what creates immortality. So when it comes to branding exercises, they're extremely valuable. Yeah, they're old, and you can't get that stickiness, and you can't get it on a post or a feed or a reel or you can't get it, right? No. There's almost an elevation, right?
100%.
It's something it's something you could do. You could pull it off, right? It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone, and it's a lot.
I'll tell you, I would not do that kind of show again.
No, but there's plenty of other formats, dude.
No, look, people are going to, they're going to see me break down. Anybody that's ever been pulling against me, which there's a lot of people out there that want to see me fail, sure. Because I'm on social media every day bragging about how fucking great I am and
you got
how much I'm doing and, all the successes and everything. So I know there's people out there that want to see me fail. You're going to love the show. Like anybody that wants to see a rich guy get beat up day after day, you're going to love the show. Okay. You want to see me emotionally break down, you're going to fucking love the show. Okay. You want to learn how to go from nothing and build a business, a real business that is still working today, that has the potential to become something and do it in a short period of time with no money, you're going to love the show. So if you're a woman, you're going to love the show because I'm naked half the time. Okay. So I'm telling you, dude, like you are going to love the show.
Remember
that who promotes a show better than I do?
Well, I got to tell you, no, you promote well. There's no doubt about it. But more importantly, you do it with this and forgive me for using these words, right? These British words, but this bombastic audacity, right? And yet you still achieve authenticity. Putting that into no bad PR scenario, which is TV, right? The more controversial you are, the more authentic you are. The more people empathize with you, the more they say, he failed, but look at this guy. He put himself through it. All of a sudden, you're the rags to riches story again. It's like you're already on the conveyor belt climbing back up. And people want to hear more of the story. So,
you're a smart guy. You get it.
Oh, yeah. I don't totally get it, but I think that you're probably going to hit a home run. But I can't wait to see it.